Hi, folks.
And just a bit. Not quite yet.
It says it's live on YouTube, but you're checking YouTube if it's popped up.
I think we're there now. Hello.
Hey, welcome everybody. I don't imagine that they're all there yet, but I just, was pretending that they're all there. Hey, there's Ainsley.
Hi, guys.
All right. Nice to see you, Ainsley.
Well, welcome to the Upper School Winter Play Assembly. Our show is almost Maine, and we got some of our actors and folk here to have a little chat about what we've done and how we've created this and what it's been like and life in general and,
Yeah. So who thinks that they could summarize Almost Maine? What's Almost Maine about? What is the show? Who can take that one for us? Nyla, tell us.
Okay, so Almost Maine it's like a love story kind of thing, but it's like a bunch of love stories to kind of make one love story. And I think it's 8, I think, little kind of short pieces with different people in each one. And it's really interesting. I like it because it interestingly shows a lot of different like love metaphors, like a broken heart or like falling in love with someone. It does that in a really way that I've never really seen before. And yeah, I think
what is the actual thing being?
It's a it's a different love story that I think most of us have seen before. So it's really interesting.
Yeah. Who wants to add on to that, telling us about Almost Maine? Ainsley.
Also, I think there's a lot of like day-to-day parts of it which make it really special, that it details relationships just like ones we might see. I mean, with a little bit of like added magic in some parts, but relationships you might see between people you know or like in your own life, but just making it a bit special and just really going in on what that would look like and how beautiful it can be, but also the troubles that can be in that as well. And I think that's really cool.
Apparently Miss Attili had to run away, but that's okay. Cool.
There was a large crash outside my office and what sounded like crying, but it's laughing and everybody's okay.
Good to know. So make these things exciting.
All right. Anything else we missed? Where does this take place? Anybody want to tell us about the place of the play? Alexandra.
Oh, I was going to add, I mean, it's a little self-explanatory in the title, but our play setting is in Maine. And it's important to note too as well, I think when we were doing the read through and going through the audition process for this production especially, we sort of emphasized a lot being really authentic and being really real. Like, they're from Maine, but that doesn't mean they're like super, I don't know, weird or fall into like a lot of Maine stereotypes, if that makes sense, which I had no idea what that was before like auditioning. But like they don't all like eat lobster or like something like that. And so Mr. Tom and Mr. Robinson like really coached us through sort of being, having those like intimate moments with your scene partner. And so that really helped sort of set the tone and the stage for our production. Yeah.
Emma, you had your hand up. Do you want to share?
Yeah, I was just going to talk about how like Almost Maine isn't really a town, it's almost a town. And it's kind of this like, I feel like throughout the play, there's like this theme of like almost like being in love, like almost getting there, but like not real, like, and it's like, and I think a lot of the scenes, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but it kind of ends like right before like stuff happens, and it's like, and like it stays in the almost for a lot of it. And I think another part about like the characters and or like the people, the townspeople or people of Almost Maine is that they're like a lot older than us, and I think like that was really interesting for me to like play like kind of like such adults in a sense. So
yeah, definitely. Nyla.
Yeah, kind of adding on to like the setting. Sorry, someone just left. But it's kind of adding on to like the setting. I think I'm not sure if Almost Maine is a real place, but kind of like if it is, I don't really think anyone here has any prior knowledge of Almost Maine. you know, like it's not like it's set in New York or like California. And we kind of came into it with no real idea of what Almost Maine is or what the place is and like the people. Like for me specifically, like there was a line where like there was like my character's birthday and I kind of had to like put in his own birthday. And so kind of stuff like that, it was really like we got to create like our characters. We got to kind of come up with like who they are as people. And it was really like a world that we got to kind of build ourselves, which I think is something that was like really interesting about this show because I feel like I've never really got to do that in such this kind of way before.
Great. I'll take Ainsley, and then we're going to get into, people are going to introduce what they did for the play. So Ainsley, say your piece, and then maybe tell us what you.
Okay, yeah. I would say as well that something that makes this show really, really special is the fact that I know that a lot of Holton-Landon plays, we see mythical creatures, we see big relationships, we see dramatic storylines and murderesses and Greek gods and random topics, but here I think it's really stripped down to the basics of communication and love and what that looks like, and just like, I don't know, it's really pretty. I think it's really beautiful to see. And so I think that to add on to Nyla, the special thing about creating these characters is having them be me in 20 plus years, which is a little terrifying to envision me as a man in 20 plus years, but like something like that. And I think it's just crazy to imagine that there are, I don't know, all of these amazing magical moments in the everyday lives of people just like us that we get to bring to life. And it's a different type of like creativity and development than creating a, I don't know, murderous character or like a magical fairy character. Is something new and different entirely, and it's also extremely powerful. So yeah, that's really special about this.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, actually, Miss Atelli, I was going to
Ainsley.
suggest, do you want to do, I can share the trailer to start off with,
Yes,
and then we
okay.
can get into some little clips of scenes. So this is a
So
trailer.
before we see this,
Yeah, go ahead.
the actors have not seen this. I
Oh,
have not seen the trailer. So this is just as exciting for all of us as it is for any of you.
And shout
Go
out
for
to
it.
Maggie Brett Major, who was the editor who put this together. So here we go.
You know, people talk not about things they don't, that you know you don't want to hear, they don't. Want it back. What? All the love I gave to you, I want it back. What?
Well, I got something for you.
What's this? Here. Yeah? I love you.
Woohoo. There we go.
Yay. That's the first I saw that too. Nice. All right. So maybe, Mr. Robinson, you know what the clips are. So should we go in order of folks in the play?
Sure, if you want to. I basically pulled a clip from everybody who's here on screen. So everyone that's here has a bit, and we can watch little pieces. But yeah, we could go in order of the play if you wanted to.
Sure. All right. So Nyla and Sabrina, tell us about your characters.
Okay, so basically my character, she's not from Maine. So it's very interesting to kind of see the difference in like personality and dynamic, because obviously she's not really familiar with the whole like community because it's a small town. So it's very interesting to see her dynamic with East, which is Nyla. And it was very interesting to like kind of create her character. I don't want to like give too much away, but she is like a very go-lucky person, but has a very like hard, like interesting past. So kind of making that whole like dynamic work was a very interesting experience. And yeah.
Okay, yeah. So my character's name is East, and the way that I also don't really want to give too much away, but the way that he kind of meets Sabrina's character, Glory, I'm not sure if you said her name, but her name is Glory. The way that they meet is, it's odd. It's kind of like their situation is something that you wouldn't really like expect. And so kind of East is a very kind of drawn back person. He doesn't really have a lot going on in his life. And there's not really that much excitement. And I think it was fun to kind of play with like Sabrina's character and how Sabrina's character, might kind of bring that kind of excitement into his life. And they're definitely two very different characters, but they fit together in a way that it was both difficult and like they kind of went together. And so I'm excited for everyone to see East and Glory and to see what we've done with it.
All right, here we go.
Is that your tent? Yes. You've pitched a tent.
So I have a place to sleep.
My yard.
After I see them. I didn't know I was in somebody's yard. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, well, it's not that I...
You mind?
Well, I don't know if...
Oh, no, I think you mind.
No, it's not that I mind.
No, you do. I'm sorry. I didn't think you would. I didn't think... You see, it says in your brochure...
My brochure?
That people from Maine wouldn't mind. It says that people from Maine are different, that they live life the way life should be, and that in the tradition of their brethren in rural northern climes like Scandinavia, they'll let people who are complete strangers camp out in their yard for free. If they need to, for nothing, they'll just let you. I'm a hiker. Is it true?
Oh, well,
That they'll just let you stay in their yard if they need to? Because I need to camp out, because I'm where I need to be. This is the farthest I've ever traveled. I'm from a part of the country that's a little closer to things, never been this far north before, or east, and did you know that Maine is the only state in the country that's attached to only one other state? It is. Feels like the end of the world, and here I am at the end of the world, and I have nowhere to go, so I was counting on staying here. And unless it's not true, I mean, is it true?
well,
Would you let a hiker who was where she needed to be just camp out in your yard for free?
well,
I mean, if a person really needed to,
well,
really needed to.
well, if a person really needed to, sure, but
Oh, I'm so glad then. Thank you.
There you go. Minimize.
So there we have it. Sabrina camps out in Nile, and that's where their journey begins. All right, so the next one in the sequence would be Lucy and Ainsley, I believe.
Lucy and Ainsley, yep. Who wants to go first?
All right.
I feel like Lucy should go first.
Lucy, talk to us about your character.
Okay. So playing Gail was really fun for me because I knew kind of the first time I read her monologue, I kind of latched on to like her mental state that she's in this kind of moment. And I thought getting to play that kind of, she's a bit flustered in this moment, and she's had a revelation. And so she's kind of trying to figure out what to do with her life, and she's ready to move on and also completely confused about what she should be doing. And so I thought it was really fun to kind of play that type of a character, because I haven't done that before. And I think it was also really fun to get to interact with Ainsley and kind of play the kind of craziness of Gail off the very calm and perceptiveness of Lendel. and so that was a really fun kind of differences to play with.
Yeah, and on the point of the calmness and like perceptiveness of Lendel, I'm really used to, I guess, like my personality and just in general. I wasn't really expecting. I don't know. It was a big fun experience for me to play a calm guy who likes to watch hockey at night and is in a relationship for a long time and is just not moving fast at all and is just chilling out watching TV while his friends are, moving on with their lives. And I think that he was a big reach for me to like explore, and I love developing his character. Lucy and I moved from him working in a paint store and really liking the color blue and initially liking Gail because of the color of her eyes being his favorite paint sample color, to lots of other stories and lots of other branching ideas. And I think the most fun was realizing that Gail's energy is just so off the charts, and Lendel is so calm, and just being able to play off of each other, match the energy, and find like the beauty of them coming together kind of to like level out. I'm not going to spoil anything, but just like when they're able to is really, really cool and so much fun to play. And Lucy was incredible to work with. So yeah.
Nice.
All right, let's see their scene.
What? Gail, no. Shh, and I've been trying to fix that. I tried to give you every bit of love that I had, and now I don't have any love for me left, and that's not good for a person. And that's why I want all the love I gave to you back, because I need to bring it with me. Where are you going? I need to get away from things. What things? There aren't any things in this town to get away from. Yes, there are. You. Me. Yes, you are the things in this town I need to get away from, because I need to think and start all over again. And so all the love I gave to you, I want it back in case I need it, because I can't very well go around giving your love, because that's all I have right now is the love you gave me. I can't very well go around giving it to other guys, because that just Other guys? There are other guys? No, not yet, but I'm assuming there will be. Gail. Shh. And so I think that since I know now that you're not ready to do what comes next for people who have been together for quite a long time, I think we're going to be done. Why, Gail? And so I think that the best thing we can do now is return the love we gave to each other and call it even. Oh, jeez, Crow, is this really all the love I gave you, Lendel? I mean, what kind of a person am I if... No, I know I gave you more than that, Lendel, I know it. Did you lose it? What? No, Gail, no. Did you lose it? Because I know I gave you more than that, Lendel, and I think you're pulling something on me, and now is not a good time to be pulling something on me. I'm not pulling something on you. I wouldn't do that to you, just... I think, gosh, maybe you should just take what you came for, and I guess I'll see you later. Lendel...
We'll stop there because I don't want to ruin any more. I want people to leave
I know.
and hang in anticipation of what's going to happen. Cool.
Great. Nice job. That's the first I've seen that one too. For those who are watching, Mr. Robinson directed the first half of the play and I directed the second half. And so since we were a lot on Zoom, I didn't even see the first half of the play for the most part. So this is great. I get to see the other half of our play. All right, Emma, talk to us about your scene. We have only the juniors and seniors with us, but of course there were sophomores and freshmen in the play.
Yeah, so my scene partner was Mary. Shout out Mary. And I think like so I'm playing like Dena. And so Dena and Shelley, they're just, two country girls. And like one thing like really interesting about our scene was that like there's like this very dramatic shift. Because in the beginning we're just I don't know how much I'm supposed to talk about this, but in the beginning it's kind of more like casual and like friendly, and then in the second half it becomes a little bit more dramatic in a sense, and kind of like building like that like relationship, and like Ainsley and Lucy said, just kind of playing off of each other, and like I think like especially in our scene there's like this like kind of figuring out like the relationships between like friendship and then also like love, and just kind of figuring that out was also really fun. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
All right.
What? Never has? When has he smelled you before? I don't know. Around? Oh, jeez. Anyway, he said he was going to be able to overlook it the way that I smelled, but that wasn't going to be possible after all because something about allergic. Allergic? And he said it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was something about the women and the women? Yeah, and the lengths we go to. The lengths we... And so that whatever it is I use smell nice, just smell nice perfume. Yeah, it just doesn't smell very nice to him. No offense. And then he slams the door on me and left me sitting right there in my driveway in his truck. Because he didn't like the way you smelled. Wait, you don't even use any kind of perfume, do you? No. What the... I don't mind the way you smell. Thanks. Matter of fact, I think you smell great. Thanks. Anyway, he told me he'd come pick up his truck tomorrow, and would I mind please rolling down the windows for him to air it out overnight? What? There's nothing to air out. No. Todd has issues. Yeah. What are you doing? Doing something to his truck? Dean. We're doing something to his truck. Dean. You're too nice. Time to get mean. We're doing something to his truck. Dean. We are. We're not doing nothing to his truck. Relax. Jerk. He should be so lucky getting to go out with you. No. Yeah. Anyways. Pretty bad, huh? Yeah. I'm a little sad, too. Yeah. So I'm guessing I'm the big winner tonight, huh? So I get to pick tomorrow, and I pick bowling. We'll go bowling, start with a snowmobile club, couple beers on this patty, hang out. I didn't say you're the big winner. What? I didn't say you're the big winner. What do you mean? No, all that's pretty sad, Shell, and bad, but you didn't win. You can be being told that you smell bad. Yeah. Really? Yeah. Huh. Mine's face broke.
Another cliffhanger. I'm going to keep everybody on cliffhangers.
I'd really like to see what Emma Nakayama would do to somebody's car if she was really mad at them.
I know. I love that. I love that part of the mischievous Emma Nakayama that's going to go and do something to somebody's truck.
It's a good thing that Mary talked her down. All right. I think the next scene we have is Allie's scene.
Alexandra, actually.
Allie and Kush. Is that? Oh, it's Alexandra. Sorry, Alexandra. Tell us about your scene, Alexandra.
Yeah, so my scene, I play a character named Marcy, and my scene partner is Cushy, who's not here, but did a phenomenal job. And she plays Phil, and they're a married couple that are really going through a really hard time. Their relationship is really strained because the husband has to work in order to support the family. And at her heart, Marcy's really upset because she feels lonely and alone, which I feel like I could personally relate to, as I'm sure many people could during like coronavirus times. And so, yeah, I think that her as a person, she's super, super, almost like a Karen. Like she's like almost like a woman who loves to just be like really positive, but then also like pays attention closely to when she doesn't hear the right things, and she sort of lets that fuel her anger and her rage. And so, yeah, it's definitely like super intimate between like the relationship between them and their kind of tumultuous marriage. But yeah, it was super fun to do. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, let's see it.
feels like you're mad. Not mad. I just wish you'd pay more attention lately. You're mad. I'm not mad. I was having fun tonight, I thought. I had fun tonight. Did you? Yeah. Good. I mean, I was late because Shelly called me into the mill. I had to work. I need the hours. Well, I'm not mad at you, Phil. You had to work. I get it. Phil? Where's my shoe? What? Where's my shoe? I can't find it. Well, it's gotta be here. I mean, where is it? Is this you being funny? No. Because it's just not funny. I mean, it's cold out here. Well, you're the one who wanted to go skating. Phil! We'll find it. It's gotta be here. I'm not mad. I was never mad. I was disappointed, but now I'm done. Worse. I had fun tonight. Skating, I thought it would be fun. It was. Forget all the stuff. Get us away from the kids. Get us back to where we used to be. Remember, first time you kissed me? On a night just like this one? Right here? Echo Pond? Yeah, I know where we are, but where the heck is your shoe? Maybe it's in the car? Did you put your shoe on out here or in the car? I put them on with you right here. Well, it's not in the car. Oh, shooting star. Shh. What? Where? Shh. I'm wishing. I missed it. Yeah, you did. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing, it's just not all that surprising. What? That you missed it. What? The shooting star. Why? You don't pay attention, Phil. See, when you say things like that, I feel like you're still mad. I'm not. Mars. I wasn't mad. Gosh, where is my shoe? Maybe it is in the car. I mean, it's not in the car. I have one shoe on already. I know I didn't put my skates on in the car because the shoe I had on was on out there. I changed out there, didn't I? With you, Phil. I mean, I put my shoes on right next to yours after we put our skates on. But it's not there. I mean, this is the weirdest thing. It's not in the car. I mean, I'm not going to put on one skate on in the car and another one on out here.
Nice job. Very well done. All right. And then we have Allie's scene.
Yeah, so my character's name is Hope. My scene partner playing Man is Naomi. So shout out to Naomi, you're amazing. Hope is from almost Maine, but she leaves and she returns to try and find a person. I don't want to spoil too much, but she returns to try and find someone. And she's like freaking out when she's there because she like is so kind of scattered. And she's like sad and mad at herself and like really hopeful something's gonna happen that she wants, and she's just kind of a mess. So it was really fun kind of playing this character that is very much still in love, but has no idea like the impact of time, I guess. because it has been years since she left Maine. And so part of creating my character was I had to look like I couldn't survive in the cold. So in the trailer, there was a video of me walking up to my door in heels. So obviously, if I'm going somewhere snowy, I'm not going to wear heels because I'm just going to fall over. But those kinds of details, the heels, and like I wore like jewelry and had like a full face of makeup on, things that I would never do if I was traveling long distances or going in snowy environments. But I had a lot of fun kind of creating this character she's very in love, but she's also just completely out of the loop as to what's going on around her, and I guess how much time has passed, and how people don't stay the same forever.
Cool. Here we go.
I know this isn't going to be very easy, but I was just out there all alone in the world, and I got so scared because all I could think about was how I had no place in the world, but then I just out of nowhere realized that there was one place in this world that I did have, and that was with you. So I flew and I took a taxi to get to you. I just had to come see you. Thank God you're... Oh. Wait. I'm sorry, you're not... This is the house. I'm so sorry. Does Daniel Harding live here? I'm looking for Daniel Harding. You're looking for Daniel Harding. Yeah, he lives here, I thought, but... Oh, he doesn't, does he? Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so embarrassed. Who is this woman and what is she doing here? I just honestly thought he'd be here. I always thought he'd be here, always. Do you know him? A big guy, big, strong guy, wrestled heavyweight, all Eastern Maine strong. Do you know him? Played hockey too? Well, as a matter of... Oh, don't even answer that. I know that's a horrible question to ask a person who lives in a small town, as if everybody in small towns knows everybody else. I can't believe I asked that. I don't live here anymore, but when I did, I hated it when people assumed I knew everybody in town because it was small. It was worse than when they'd ask if we had plumbing way up there. Because, people in small towns really don't know each other any better than they do in big towns. You know that? I mean, you know who you know, you don't know who you don't know, just like anywhere else. I'm so sorry to have bothered you. I was just so sure. When his parents passed away, he kept the house. I heard he lived here. He stayed here. I thought he was one of the ones who stayed. I didn't stay. I went away. Most people do. Yeah, and I guess he did too. I never thought he would. I guess
Cool. And I know that was a little abrupt. Sorry to stop in the middle there. There's still some editing happening with some of these scenes, which actually brings us to Miss Price. So Elizabeth is helping me out along with Iman Syed and Maggie Brett Major, who I shout out to already, in doing the editing for the show. So Price, talk to us a little bit about the experience of an editor. And you've done a couple of these now, working on the Orchesis. I know Ali was also doing the Orchesis assembly, and talk to us about editing.
Yeah, so Mr. Robinson said, I've had some experience this year since I edited the fall play in Orchesis, and now I'm editing the winter play. And it's just really fun to sort of learn how to use the new technology, because Holton gave us Adobe Premiere Pro, which is one of the best editing apps you can get on your computer. So I've just had a lot of fun playing with transitions and sort of also just watching these scenes over and over again as I edit them. And eventually you kind of feel like you know the scene as much as the actor does when you're editing them. So it's just been a really fun process and a fun learning process.
Totally. Cool. So one other element that we wanted to talk about, which I'm actually going to pitch a little bit to Lucy and Ainsley to share, But in trying to figure out how to do this show, the most interesting thing that Miss Atelli and I kind of ran into as we were talking about this is the fact that since it is a show about relationships, inevitably there's going to be moments of intimacy. So people are hugging and they're kissing and things like that happen. And we, obviously we're going to be doing this over Zoom and trying to figure out how to kind of gracefully approach those sorts of moments. Since it looks kind of silly if someone like leans into the camera or tries to go to the side of their frame to like hug somebody. It just doesn't quite work. So the idea that I think it was you, Miss Atelli, that came up with it, but the kind of graceful and interesting idea that we decided to try is to do shadow puppets. And we brought in a guest artist. Her name was Cecilia Cackley, and she actually worked with my production tech class this trimester to create shadow puppet sequences for each one of the scenes. And Lucy and Ainsley just happened to be in that class. So talk to us a little bit about what it was like working on those shadow puppets and creating them. And then I've actually got 2 ones to show. Sorry, Ainsley, I'm sorry, I only have Lucy's, but before I got a chance to load them all up, I forgot to grab yours. But go ahead and Ainsley, talk to us about shadow puppetry.
Well, first off, it's really sad that you don't have mine because mine is super beautiful. I forced my parents to help me film it. So after much chaos, they actually did a really great job. I was really impressed with them. But
well, this is
so
just
shout out to
enticement.
parents.
This
But,
is enticement for
basically-
people to see the show. So
Yeah. No, but so something that was really cool about making the shadow puppets, I'd never done anything quite like it before, and we had to do sketches. We set up a whole area. We shone a light on the back. We connected. Someone just left the room. I'm sorry for the slamming doors, but we connected little wooden poles to have the hands move. And something that I realized was that a lot more goes into making these things than you realize occasionally. I don't really know why, but I thought it was going to be something that I could, let me cut out this person and, sketch an outline and put some wood on the back of it and make it move and it's going to look realistic. But the more I realized that I could, add different things, make the arms move, make the hands reach up, it added a lot to the scene with details and with the intimacy of it. And especially because these are huge moments, making it as good as I could was something that initially I was like, all right, this is going to be super easy. And the more I was able to add to it, it was a little challenging, but it was really, really fun. And it was a really cool thing to try and do. I'd never done anything quite like it.
Lucy, you want to share a little?
Sure. So one thing that I think was really cool about the way we made the shadow puppets, especially the ones that I did of Talia and James's scene, which is I forget what exactly the name is, but they have a little kiss in there. And so one thing that we did to try and make the puppets look a little less generic was we had the actors take pictures of themselves standing in profile, and then we cut those out and stenciled them onto paper and then tried to actually use the silhouettes of the real people. And so I did a lot of playing with that. I actually used Talia's and James's pictures for that one scene. And for the one where we see, I think I also worked on Allie's scene, and the little woman standing outside the house is actually Allie, with some modification for, I wanted to get the big coat you had on in there, so I had to use a little bit of a internet image for that one, but your head is on there. So so I kind of had fun playing with the pictures that the actors submitted. So that was a really fun part for me.
Yeah. So what I'm going to show is and these are rough cuts, but these are the images that Lucy created for the James and Talia scene that she was talking about. There's one image that's more of a still image, but establishing the people doing the ironing, or Talia is ironing and James is sitting on a bench. And then the next one that I'll show is the actual scene of the two of them kissing. So you can see kind of how that works. So here we go. And then, give me a moment here. Oh, let me do that one more time because I went too fast for me here. Whoop. Here we go. I love the character too, Lucy, that you were able to kind of bring into that. Like just the real sweet little like moment of kiss is very cool. So, and it was a lot of fun, and they put in a lot of work, you know, to kind of bring those together, as well as, and you know, kudos to the other members of the class who were involved with putting those together, because I still am bugging them and getting a couple last minute tweaks and notes from them as we work through to finish editing everything together. So yeah.
Yes, and kudos to Mr. Robinson too, who worked to deliver kits to each of these students so that they could project and put them, so that they have little mini shadow puppetry studios in each of their houses with a light source. And like this is a really big undertaking that ends up showing for just a few seconds, but I think really enhances the artistry of the storytelling. This really spare landscape where there's a lot of space between people and people feel isolated, I think is just reinforced by the poetry in the shadow puppets, and a really good hands-on way to get those students involved doing theater tech from home with their own little setups.
Yep. So one thing before we go that we do want to make sure and let people know is obviously come and see the show. Make sure that you get your tickets. This is a unique one in that because of our licensing and because of copyright, you know, requirements, we are not able to share it on our YouTube page like we've done with our other performances. But it actually is going through a website called Show Tix for You. The tickets are free, but you do need to register. And then once you register, they will send you an email that will allow you to get to a link that will open up the show when it is available on Friday and Saturday night at 7. And it's really only available to view during that window of time. So, you know, make sure you get your tickets and make sure you clear your schedule so you can watch the show then. This to tell you.
It should be a really good streaming experience though. I mean, because that's what they do. You can wait and ask for your tickets, but I wouldn't wait until right at 7 as it's supposed to start, because by the time they send you the link and then you log back in, you might have missed some nice moments. So go ahead and reserve that now. It's just like pay-per-view, except you don't have to pay anything.
Totally.
So great work, everybody. I actually really love hearing you all talk about what the play means, because we haven't done that yet. And I'm getting a little choked up about how much you have put into it. And I'm thrilled. Yes. Right back at you.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And thank you all. Thank you all for joining us and watching, those of you who are out there in Holton-Land. And yeah, come out and support the show and all the arts, because that's what we love to do. So cool.
It's what connects us in this winter. Yeah.
Take care all.